Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I hope that everyone had a marvelous Monday and you're ready for a terrific Tuesday. It's time for your message of the day. Today's message is related to the virtue of detachment. And as I shared with you yesterday in the email for sure, I chose detachment because detachment is about, acknowledging our feelings, feeling our feelings, but not allowing them to control us, not allowing our emotions or our feelings to control us. And I can tell you that in the last month or so, I have felt a little overwhelmed about my feelings, about people, about places, about situations. And I said, you've got to do some work on detaching yourself from these feelings. You are not your feelings. It reminds me of India Arie's song, I Am Not My Hair. We're so much more than the individual things that make us up. We are a composite of all of those things. That reminds me of Lettucey's song, Pieces of Me. Whenever I hear that song, I think about, people oftentimes try to define you as one thing. They see, one particular thing about you, but they don't see the totality of you, the totality of you. And you have got to learn how to see and understand and embrace and dwell in the totality of you and not allow any one part of you, particularly something that you're going through difficult, to be everything about you. That can definitely lead to some depression and sadness and anxiety. And so anyway, I realized, hey, you need to do some work in detachment. You need to kind of look at that and see how you're practicing detachment because it's going to set you free. That's really what it's about. So that's that. Um, Today's practice about detachment is I don't interfere in other people's spiritual work. And I know that I've talked about it before. When I woke up this morning, I thought, I know I've talked about this particular topic. It really strikes with parents. Parents try to do things for their children so that they don't have to experience pain or hardship, which is a great thing, but can also is a double-edged sword. People have lessons to learn in life. We grow through our experiences and our lessons. And if we interfere with those things, if we don't allow people to go through things, they don't learn that they can. And they don't learn the lessons that come from going through those experiences. For instance, my son right now, he is off in a state. He's the furthest away from me than he's ever been. He's at grad school. I'm so proud of him. He got his, not his first job. He's had jobs before. He's had a tutoring job before. He's worked at academy. But he has a job and, he's a TA and he's a full-time grad student and he has his own apartment and he's been, I know that he's been striving to do some things on his own. And although I have not agreed with every decision that he's made, I have to allow him to make these decisions and bear the fruit of those decisions because he's going to learn from them and they're going to make him a better person. I know that because I was 23 once and I had to make decisions and I had to bear the fruit of my decisions and I hope it made me a better person for it. And so oftentimes parents, we interfere with our children's spiritual lessons in an attempt to save them from pain. We try to talk them through it. And if they're open to it, then that can be the lesson, just learning. My dad used to say, some people are from Missouri. And Missouri is called the show me state. Some people you can't tell them. You got to show them. Life has to show them. And so sometimes you got to step back and allow people to experience what they need to experience. And it's not about, I'll say that I find that fathers tend to do that better than mothers. They're like, yeah, you got to take your licks, become a man. You gotta, learn your lesson. They don't do that so well with their girls. It's my baby. I gotta take care of my baby. I appreciate my dad because he wasn't harsh like, cake your licks. But on the same token, he was like, if you want to be from the show me state, be from the show me state. I was telling a story to a friend of mine about being a teenager and doing some things. And my dad, he felt like if the natural consequences of your actions knocked you on your tail, he just joked with you about it. He didn't have to stand over you and say, I told you so. You should listen to me. He didn't do those types of things. And I appreciated that about him. Yeah, parents, do not get in the way of your children's spiritual experiences and growth and the lessons that they need to learn for themselves. And then I think that spouses do it as well. I think that people in the relationships do it as well. And we do it out of love. We do it out of a sense of trying to save people pain. And oftentimes, if we're really, really honest with ourselves, we do it out of a sense that we don't want to have to go through the pain with the person when they go through the pain of doing whatever it is they did. So if we're really, really honest with ourselves, we're trying to protect ourselves from some extra heartache or extra aggravation or frustration around being next to a person who's going through a storm. That reminds me of being in church and hearing pastors say, some storms you're in because you choose to be in it, because you're standing next to the person who's in the storm. That's not even your storm. So learn to know what your storm is. And when you realize it's not your storm, then step back and allow people to go through what they need to go through. Be there for them as they activate you, as they invite you in to support them. But otherwise, step back. One more example, as an administrator, is one of my jobs, one of my greatest joys, privileges, is to help grow teachers. And a lot of times teachers give to that process. They want to be grown, and they will give into the process of developing themselves, and they'll go through the hardship. I was talking to another administrator yesterday. I'm great with working with students with difficult behaviors because I worked with students with difficult behaviors. Not because I read a book, not because somebody told me, and not because somebody came in and did it for me and I watched them while they did it. I never would have become the person that I am if I didn't go through it. I always looked at my roster as an opportunity. I felt like if fate, if life had put us together, and that's how I was in middle school and high school, and now as an administrator in elementary school. If life put us together, then there was an opportunity. There is an opportunity for me and that person to grow from us coming together. So how dare I shy away from an opportunity to pour into someone else and to grow from my interactions with them. That's why I love telling stories about my kids, and I love telling stories about my teachers of when, they step up to the plate and they take on responsibility and they grow from it. So stop shying away from opportunities that life is presenting to you. That's your spiritual work. Don't step away from your spiritual work, but on the same token, don't stand in the way of other people's spiritual work. I feel like I'm preaching, and I don't even know why, but I feel like I'm back in the classroom. I used to do this with my kids, and I say, okay, guys, I'm done for the day. Let's get into the lesson. So guess what, guys? I'm done for the day. Let's get into the lesson. The lesson is, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, gift others the beauty of your smile. You feel better when you smile, you look better when you smile, and the world around smiles with you. So have a terrific Tuesday, everyone. Check out the email. There's a great song in there. There's some great information in there. And I'm just wishing you all a wonderful day. Take care.